Hey everyone, I am Elizabeth Sherman from Total Health by Elizabeth, and today, well, first of all, let me introduce myself. So what I am is I'm a health coach, and I work with mainly women, helping them lean into better health. And how we do that is we don't have an all or nothing approach. I work with my clients to figure out what's the easiest thing for you to do to just nudge yourself a little bit better in getting healthier. And so why that's important is because today I want to talk about going on a diet or starting an exercise routine. So let's say that it's New Year's and we all do this. We decide, okay, I'm gonna be good and I'm going to cut out all white food from my diet and I'm only gonna eat vegetables and I'm gonna start running 30 minutes a day every day of the week, and I'm gonna have one day off where I don't run so that I can recover, because I hear that's good too. Otherwise I would do it that day too. And so what happens is we get all frustrated. Well, I mean, the first day is great, okay? We have all this motivation to do it. And then slowly things start to get uncomfortable. And you're like, God, I really would like some mac and cheese right now. Or, gosh, I'm really sore from running. I'd really like to have a day off. And so you don't. You either have your mac and cheese or you don't run or whatever, and you feel all this guilt because you're like, but I should be able to do this, but I'm not doing it. And there's all this shame associated with that. And so what I want to talk about today is perfection when it comes to just having habit change. You can't expect to go from 0 to 50 overnight. It took a while for you to get where you are, so it's going to take a while to get back into that shape. And the reasons that we think that we can do it is because, one, either we have a friend who did it, right? And so we're like, well, if that person did it, then I should be able to do it too. Or we think about an earlier version of ourselves. I used to run when I was in college, so I should be able to do that now. Or someone tells us that we should be able to do it. So like a personal trainer or a coach or someone who's written a diet book says, you should be able to do this diet because I tell you that you should be. I'm able to do it, so you should be able to do it, which is completely ridiculous because that person is not you. And the reasons why perfection doesn't work there are a couple reasons. One is, if I give you a diet, you may not like the same foods that I like. You may like to eat completely differently than I eat. So for example, what if I like to eat, 3 really big meals per day, and you like to eat little meals all the day? Then that's not really gonna work, even though I'm telling you that, well, I eat this way and I'm successful, so you should be able to do it too. And that's just not right. So our lifestyles are completely different. And the thing is that, and that's one of the challenges in thinking, oh, I can do this now because I used to be able to do it before. Well, think about where you were before. So for example, if you have kids right now and you're thinking about how you used to run and eat when you were married and didn't have kids, that's a totally different person. Your challenges are different. The things that you do during the day, your likes and dislikes have really kind of changed. So why would you think that you would be able to do the same thing that you were able to do before and pick it up right now? So if you haven't run in a year, but you're like, oh, this is the week I'm gonna start running, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But there are also a lot of other reasons why you don't want to take someone else's approach to your own health. So again, there's lifestyle. So, you know, what you do for work, how much you commute, how much time you spend at work, what you do at work, all of those things. What you do when you come home. So how much time do you have at home? What do you like to do when you're at home? How do you like to spend your time with your family or, you know, with your dogs or whatever it is that you have? How do you like to spend your time? Do you like to read, or do you like to watch television or movies, or, you know, what is it that you do to wind down? And what types of foods do you like? And, you know, that's largely cultural too. So, you know, if you're Anglo, you're going to have a completely different food experience than someone who is African American or who is Hispanic. You know, the ritual that we have around food is completely different. And for someone else to tell you that you should be able to have, you know, eat this certain way, they kind of take that ritual and culture out of the food experience that we have. So there are a lot of reasons why you don't want to take someone else's approach. What you want to do is actually discover how to make your own diet. And so when we take someone else's approach, generally, so let's say that there's a new hot, you know, diet book that's out on the market right now, and you have a friend that did it and they had great results. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to do that diet too. And you take it home and you start doing it, and it's fine. But then slowly it starts breaking down. Again, that book hasn't taken into account a lot of your lifestyle and your likes and dislikes and things like that. So in that event, you know, we think that we need to adhere to this, you know, diet strictly in order to, you know, be effective on it. And that's not necessarily true. Whenever we're starting a new diet or approach, you can always take pieces from it. So for example, there was a period of time when I called myself paleo. And, you know, I look back at that, and if anyone who was on the paleo diet looked at what I was eating, they would have totally judged me. I would have had tons of "you're not paleo" shaming. But the thing is that I took the parts of paleo that worked for me, and I discarded the rest. I didn't need to do all of the, you know, paleo rules around it. So for example, I didn't buy organic meat because it was expensive. I didn't buy organic produce because it was expensive. I ate potatoes because I liked them and I didn't think that there was anything wrong with them. So those are some examples of how I did paleo for me. And so whenever you take an approach, a diet or whatever, you don't have to take it 100% as it is. Take those diets, figure out what works with them, and then discard the rest. So like, for instance, if, you know, someone tells you that you have to eat, you know, or have a supplement every day, you know, maybe you don't, if you don't feel like you need to do that. So anyway, for moderation when it comes to dieting, you know, the general rule is, and there really isn't anything special about how to, you know, lose weight. You just want to eat more vegetables, cut out processed foods, you know, limit your treats. But here's the thing. You don't have to cut those things out altogether in order to be healthy. That's a completely, it's an unrealistic expectation of yourself that you're never going to have sugar again, or you're never going to drink alcohol if you do. So what I like to do with my clients is we set up what's called an 80-20 rule. So for 80% of the time, you are eating lean proteins, you're eating vegetables, you're eating unprocessed starches, okay? So things that are just really good for you and really pretty natural. Then the other 20% of the time, you're treating yourself. And when I say 20% of the time, we're looking at your entire food consumption for the day. So you can split that up throughout the day and have a little treat here and a little treat there and a little treat later. That's totally fine. Or you can have a couple glasses of wine at dinner. That would be considered a treat. So you want to look at your entire caloric load for the day and take 20% out for yourself and have the other 80% be for your your just general eating habits, those things that you eat on a regular basis that aren't just really that exciting. So that's my approach, and that way you never feel deprived. You never feel like, oh, I'm on this diet and I'm off the diet. I have so many friends that I see on Facebook who are like, okay, we're starting this new diet and it's all gung-ho, and then a few weeks later they show a picture of what they're eating and it's like a burger with 2 donuts on top. And that's fine if they want to have that. But it's just an on or off mentality. And life does not have to be that way. Food does not have to be that way. You can pepper in treats every single day, and it's a much more moderate approach. It's something that can really help in terms of not being so mentally focused on, I have to be good and now I'm bad. Because honestly, food does not have a moral compass on it. There's no food that's absolutely bad for you, and there's no food that's absolutely good for you. So it's all about living, and food is here to support your life. You are not here to, be on a diet for the rest of your life. So, all I want to say to sum this up is, figure out a way that works for you. Figure out some guidelines that work for you that will give you the treats that you need through the day, throughout the week, in your life. And that way, when you go on vacation, you're not elbow deep in guacamole, because quite honestly, you can have that anytime. When a food becomes off limits, then we automatically want to go towards it even more. So demonizing food is actually making you crave it more. So try to stay away from black and white rules regarding food, because it really doesn't serve you. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that right now. You have an amazing day. Again, my name is Elizabeth Sherman, Total Health by Elizabeth, and what I do is I help folks lean into healthier habits. I am currently in the process of doing 30 days of Facebook Live. If you have questions for me, I would love to answer them for you. Go ahead and answer them or write them in the comments, or you can send me a message on Facebook and I will go ahead and answer those. So I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow.